to Russia and to Ukraine during the previous 24 hours. Lots of updates we received from this area as well. The Ukrainians continue attacking the territory of the Russian Federation, sending hundreds of drones in the direction of the southern parts of Russia. This picture was published by pro-Ukrainian sources this night, and here we can see hundreds of drones flying in the southern direction. The Russians are saying that they managed to destroy every single drone that was flying in the direction of the southern part of Russia. Especially lots of drones were destroyed over Krasnodar Krai and in the area of the Black Sea. But despite the fact that the Russians are saying that they managed to destroy almost everything, this morning we received lots of videos where we can see the first consequences of this attack. According to pro-Ukrainian sources, the building of the Almaz Antey concern was attacked by drones tonight in Sevastopol. This very important object of military infrastructure, the Russians use this plant to develop and produce air defense weapons. Another important video was published by Ukrainians, by special forces. Here we can see probably one of the waves of attack that took place during the previous days. Here we can see how Ukrainians using just small drones were attacking objects of air defense infrastructure of the Russian Federation on the territory of Crimea. And as you can see, the Ukrainians managed to deal significant damage. The Russians lost control over the Black Sea. They can't do anything with this, and the only possible solution for Russians how to secure the Black Sea and how to secure air defense infrastructure in the area of Crimea is to create a secure zone in the Black Sea, something like this. But for these purposes, they need to have developed Navy technologies, Navy drones technologies, and according to information we have, either the Russians are developing this technology or maybe they even are not doing anything like this. So the Russians first need to get this technology before making first steps in the area of the Black Sea with the purpose to secure this territory against the Ukrainian drones.
What makes it work is trust and flexibility. At KPMG is the quality of the work that counts.
Af og til har du brug for en lønsikring. Hos Af og til har vi Danmarks billigste A-kasse og lønsikringspakke.
Furthermore, the Russians continue attacking objects of energy infrastructure through the entire territory of Ukraine. The Ukrainians are saying that during the previous night, the Russians launched 133 drones to attack the territory of Ukraine. The Ukrainians are saying that they managed to destroy 109 drones, but the rest managed to hit targets through the territory of Ukraine. The Russians attacked the city of Odessa, and the sources are saying that the Russians were attacking the city of Odessa using 26 drones. So that was a very big attack, and the Russians were trying to destroy objects of energy infrastructure and objects of port infrastructure. Furthermore, this video was published by several pro-Russian sources. Here we can see how the Russians were attacking objects of energy infrastructure through the territory of Ukraine in 3 different places. This is the city of Zaporozhye, the southern parts of Kherson region, and the city of Kharkiv. Furthermore, the Russians continued attacking the city of Zaporozhye, and the sources are saying that this morning very heavy explosions were recorded in the northwestern parts of the city, which means that most likely the Russians attacked this substation. So we see that the Russians continue destroying energy infrastructure of Ukraine with the purpose to reduce, first of all, the Ukrainian logistic capabilities, because as we discussed during the previous videos, the Russians right now are trying to take under complete control the city of Orekhov, and for these purposes the Russians launched their Orekhov offensive operation. So the Russian forces are indeed significantly strengthened the sector immediately south of Orekhov. They would probably like to capture Novopavlovka, Novoandreevka, Novodanilovka, and Malotokmachka, then bring their drones there to control the supplies going in and out of Orekhov, just as several military experts expected would happen several weeks ago. Now let's move further. And let's discuss the situation in the Dobropolye direction. During the previous night, additional changes on the ground were recorded in this area as well. So this is the end of the 18th of March, and this is the beginning of the 19th of March. As you can see, the Russians, after they finished the battle for the settlement of Grushina, began moving in the northern direction, in direction of the settlements of Shevchenka and Dobropolye. And now the Russians are also moving along M30 road in the direction of the settlement of Sergeyevka. I would like to remind you that several days ago we received the report that Russians answered the settlement of Sergeyevka from the southeastern part, which means that now the Russians most likely will continue advancing in this area in this direction with the purpose to establish complete control over the settlement of Sergeyevka, which will allow the Russians to outflank Ukraine's positions in the area of Mezhova and further in the southern direction towards the settlements of Novopavlovka, Gavrilovka, Velika Mikhailovka and Pokrovska. So the Russians seems are beginning the Dnipropetrovsk offensive operation with the purpose to maintain the lines first of all. Now let's move further and let's talk about the Kupinsk direction. During the previous night, pro-Russian sources published a very interesting video. So the author of this video claims that here we can see Russian soldiers that were moving through the central part of the settlement of Kovsharovka, and the author of this video stated that the Russians were searching for sabotage and reconnaissance groups of the armored forces of Ukraine that were hiding in basements under the control of drones that were flying above Russian units. So in this video we can see two Russian soldiers that were moving in the central part of Kovsharovka. So telling the truth, many mappers based on these videos adjusted their maps. We have added some corrections as well, but telling the truth from this angle it's very difficult to understand whether these soldiers are Russian or Ukrainian soldiers. So that is why we believe that we need to wait for several days more, because if the Russians indeed can move through the settlement of Kovsharovka without any danger, without any risk from the Ukrainian side, then most likely we can say that the battle for the northern Kupinsk direction, for the eastern bank of the river Oskil have finished. The Russians most likely managed to establish complete control over the territory, and in coming days the map will be adjusted significantly. And that's it for the short video of the military